Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of most ages, we are an uncensored comedy podcast covering a wide variety of movies and film.
I'm Ace.
And I'm Khan. We are Movies for the People. And this week on Movies for the People, we are spoiling some shit, so pause this shit if you haven't seen Infinity War.
What were your thoughts?
I loved it. I thought it was great. I had to go see it 3 times to process everything that happened throughout the movie, but it was great. I loved it.
I had to go see it a couple times too. The second time I thought I would understand more and maybe catch some stuff I didn't, and it's like I didn't. It was just, I don't even know how to describe it. A tragedy.
There's a lot of tragedy in there. Right from the beginning on the refugee ship.
That shit broke me.
And I assume that we lost everyone.
Everyone from Ragnarok, I assume, is dead. Especially Korg. R.I.P. Korg.
Miss you, buddy.
Yeah, I hated that within the first 5 minutes, they kill off a black man. The best black man in Marvel. Heimdall.
Which opens up a spot for the DC universe to maybe get better with the best option for a Green Lantern in Jon Stewart.
Idris Elba? Huh? If he can save the DCU, good on him. I don't think he can. I don't know what can. Maybe
nothing can. It's doomed. Let's just face it. Go be James Bond. Better off there.
He is. Definitely.
We also lose potentially Loki on the refugee ship.
Possibly.
I doubt it.
I also doubt it. But that was some graphic shit.
Very graphic shit. I loved it.
Like, you look into his eyes as you see him die.
It was very graphic, but you also get to see maybe a little bit of humanity in Loki when Thanos is killing Thor right in front of him.
That is true.
And then at which time he turns around and offers up his stone in order to save Thor's life.
Yeah. Which he kind of just knew, like, Loki wasn't leaving with that stone.
Yeah. And then we got to see Hulk go tussle with
we got
Thor,
to see Hulk
Thanos.
Get his ass
and he got
whooped.
His ass whooped.
Like, from that moment on, I knew, oh shit, this dude Thanos is going to be fucking shit up on every scene that he is in.
And he did just that.
He did. Throughout the whole movie, whenever he was on screen, you kind of felt worried. Like, you felt uneasy. It was great.
I haven't felt this kind of anything for a comic book villain probably since Heath Ledger's Joker.
Yeah. It is that same feel of just, you don't know what the fuck he's about to do.
There's nothing that he won't do for his endgame. And unfortunately, Thanos' endgame is snapping his fingers and wiping out a shitload of people.
One thing that they did with Thanos that I loved is they gave him an amazing backstory.
Yes.
Like, you could understand why he was doing everything that he did. Marvel has stepped their shit up with their villains.
They have.
They heard everyone talking, like, your villains are trash, no one likes them. Within the last 4 Marvel movies, everyone loved the villains in those.
Warmonger?
Killmonger.
My bad. Either way, Michael B. Jordan kicked ass in that role.
He was great. There was the villain in Spider-Man, Michael Keaton. He killed it as the Vulture.
Yes, he did.
He was another one you could understand why he was doing what he was doing. They had Jeff Goldblum in Thor Ragnarok.
Yep.
And
Goofy son of a bitch.
Goofy. You loved him, though.
Absolutely.
And last, Cottonmouth in Luke Cage.
Yes.
He's still one of my favorite villains. I can't pronounce it. Marshala Ali. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. But he is an amazing actor. I think he would make a great Lex Luthor just watching him in Luke Cage.
I can get behind that. But if you're going to go into the Marvel shows, you got to throw in David Tennant's Kilgrave.
Also amazing.
That was awesome.
Also amazing. But back to Infinity War.
So after the refugee ship, we get Hulk landing in Doctor Strange's pad.
His crib.
His house. He mutters just a few words.
Thanos is coming.
And it's just terrifying. You know that bad shit's coming.
You knew that, but one thing I want to say. Mark Ruffalo did a shit job in this movie.
Oddly enough, he did. He wasn't on point like he was in
any of the stuff.
Any of the movies he's been in.
Like, it just seemed like he wasn't even trying to get his lines out.
Right.
But, yeah. And we didn't get to see Hulk because Hulk was being a bitch.
He was a scaredy-ass bitch.
He got his ass whooped and just never came back.
I can't blame him, though. I mean, he got his ass beat.
But once he lands in the crib, he calls up one man. Tony Stark. Tony Stark comes in, and then we get a good look.
Tony Stark pissing himself when he hears the name Thanos.
He wasn't really pissing himself.
He was pissing himself. He was scared out of his mind.
He was like, who is this guy? And then he saw that ship outside, and he was like, oh.
How awesome is Tony Stark's new suit, though?
It was amazing. The way it just came out of his chest and with all those nanobots.
And it just kept getting more and more awesome throughout the movie.
More and more. It was dope. I loved the way that it could, like, how it formed to every limb and could create different weapons or power up different areas.
It was very cool.
It was dope.
So then we see the ship. We get a little bit of a fight scene.
Yeah, we get to see the children of Thanos.
And we get to see Banner struggling with some performance anxiety.
He has performance issues.
He couldn't get it up.
I actually heard it best that if this was a Transformers movie, we would have heard a lot of performance issues jokes. But we see the children of Thanos, and
they're pretty badass.
A couple of them.
Yeah, I liked them.
I liked the two that were right there.
Yeah.
That landed on that. The big dude, just because he was so powerful, he was pretty scary. And then the creepy ass wizard.
Yeah.
He was ugly.
I haven't been that scared of a wizard in years.
Since Voldemort?
Who? You can't say that.
I just did.
Damn it. Yes, since Voldemort.
But yeah, we also get a good look at Spidey coming into the fight. Ned causes a distraction for him.
I love Ned.
Who doesn't fucking love Ned? He's just an adorable fat motherfucker.
If you don't like Ned, you suck.
If you don't like Ned, you're a bitch.
Ned's awesome. And he's hilarious.
The movie needed more Ned.
Speaking of Spider-Man, how about his new suit?
His suit was dope. I wish they would have shown a little bit more of it, but we got to see the iron arms.
The Iron Spider.
The Iron Spider arms, yeah. Those were dope. They came in clutch in a lot of situations. Yeah. It was dope. What do you think of it?
I loved it. I thought it was great. I was excited when Stark launches it and Peter just kind of falls from the sky and the suit catches him and
that was great.
Smells like a new car in there and everything.
I knew he was getting the suit, but I wasn't expecting it to be that quick. Like, everything happens very fast in this movie. The pacing was amazing.
They did a great job. But I still felt that it was, at times, even a little bit rushed.
Yeah.
And they could have used at least another 30 minutes to...
We needed a director's cut.
At least another 30 minutes to properly space it out even a little bit better than it was.
Fuck it, an hour. Give us an...
I'd be good with that. I could easily handle that. More Cap. Where was Cap at in the movie? He was like, he was gone. He was here.
That's one thing I thought in the movie. They didn't give a lot of people a lot of shine. Like, they had everyone in it, and I think they just had to cut down on certain characters.
Yeah, but you know who got cut down, who didn't deserve to be cut down?
Who?
Black Panther.
True.
He was a bitch in this movie.
He was a bitch. You saw him like twice? I think you saw him once on the battlefield.
Yeah.
When he's running up with Cap.
And then you see him die 3 times. Wakanda forever. We'll just kill everybody. I mean, they've only heard of Wakanda for about, a minute, so not like the world's going to miss Wakanda anyway, right?
True.
I'll miss Shuri, though. Hopefully she's okay.
Shuri will be back.
I hope so.
Now that we're talking about different characters, though, what do you think of the team-ups?
I enjoyed the team-ups. I liked the random chemistry that they had that, you got Thor with Rocket and Groot.
They were all 3 great together.
And it just, Thor and Rocket just kind of going back and forth was hilarious.
It was great.
Rocket calling the rest of the Guardians morons, and
that whole scene when they first pick up Thor was great. He's not a dude. You're a dude.
This is a man. Who are you kidding, Quill? You're one sandwich away from being fat. I thought the writing throughout the movie was really good.
I thought so too. Like, in the scenes when there was a lot of talking, they were killing it. But I think they just couldn't fit everything in 2 hours. 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours. Which is why, honestly, director's cut would be super cool. We could have, another hour, whatever.
I'd watch it.
I'd watch it.
The world would watch it.
Absolutely.
This had the biggest opening ever.
Yeah, and it blew anything that DC has ever produced out of the water in 3 days.
What do you think of the... I just call them Team Cap and Team Iron Man, because that's kind of how they were separated.
They were separated that way.
What do you think of Team Cap?
I liked it. I wish there would have been more Cap in the movie. If they're not going to utilize Cap, then they should have just killed him off in Civil War like they should have in the first place. But you got Cap. You get him and Bucky meeting up for the first time.
Who knows how long?
In a couple years or whatever it's been. Yeah, technically, I guess it'd be 2 years, right?
I think so, yeah.
Since Civil War. Scarlet Witch. Her relationship with Vision is just...
No one cares. Vision's not a real person.
Yeah, I don't feel nothing for Vision. I'm sorry. I just don't.
Like, we want Jarvis back.
I'd love to have Jarvis back. I love Jarvis.
Anyone listening, let's get that hashtag started.
Hashtag Jarvis. Bring him back. Long live Jarvis.
Hashtag free Jarvis.
What do you think of Team Cap?
I thought they were underwhelming. I thought the only time I was really happy was when Scarlet Witch, Falcon, Vision, and Cap and Black Widow were at the train station fighting those 2 children of Thanos, and Cap and Black Widow fucked him up. That's one reason I thought the Children of Thanos were underwhelming. If you're getting fucked up by Black Widow and you're supposed to be some supervillain, you're not a supervillain.
You're not even a villain.
You're a henchman.
You're a henchman. That's what you are. You're like the assistant to the henchman.
Yeah. You guys were whack.
They did kind of drop the ball in that regard, I suppose. But then you got Team Stark.
Team Stark, which is Iron Man, Peter Parker, Doctor Strange, the Guardians.
No, the Morons.
The Morons, sorry. And yeah, that's it.
And the chemistry there, I love Strange and Stark going back and forth, bickering, and two brilliant minds.
Kind of just Stark bickering with everyone.
Yeah. I mean, he just he broke in and rambling, and now he's really broken.
Oh, he's gone. But I loved seeing the Guardians with actual superheroes and just seeing how stupid they actually are.
Yes.
That part was hilarious.
But that's what always made the Guardians so fun, is they're just a
bunch of morons.
A bunch of morons. Rocket nailed it when he called them morons.
So we get that big fight on Titan. They all meet up there, and Thanos comes in. What'd you think of that fight?
I thought that the fight scene was good when they surprised them and sprung that trap, because Quill is just a master planner and a master fucker of the world.
A big fucker. He kind of ruined it for the whole universe.
Yeah.
They were this close to getting the gauntlet off of Thanos, and Quill wants to be a little bitch because Thanos killed Gamora.
He can find someone else to love.
That is true.
How are you going to live with yourself when you kill the fucking entire universe?
Half a universe.
Half of it.
Don't put an entire universe on him.
He's deserving of the universe. We lost Black Panther.
We lost everyone.
We lost everybody.
Everyone that isn't an original Avenger is dead.
Minus Rocket.
And
Nebula.
By the way, I actually like Nebula in this one. I didn't like her in Guardians 1 or 2. She annoyed me.
I liked her in the first one. And then I found her arc in Guardians 2 to be really good.
I liked her. I didn't like her in 1. I liked her a little bit more in 2 because I felt like James Gunn kind of played off the fact that no one really messes with her that much.
One thing that pissed me off, backtracking a little bit to when the Guardians picked up Thor, and Quill and Thor having a bit of a pissing contest about, who's had it tougher. Quill talks about how he had to kill his dad, blah, blah, blah. But all the fucking tears I shed in Guardians 2 about fucking Yondu.
He didn't
not
even
one
mention him once.
mention of Yondu.
Mary Poppins.
Not one fucking mention of Mary Poppins. I cried like a little girl over Yondu in that death scene. And there's not even a mention of Yondu.
I didn't even think of that.
Like, fuck you, Quill.
Yeah, hashtag that too. Fuck Quill.
Fuck Quill. You suck. So I just want to throw that out there.
What'd you think about Gamora's little trip with Thanos?
It left me with a lot of questions. I feel like she had ample opportunity that if she was as scared shitless of Thanos getting her and basically begging Quill to kill her if she's captured by Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like she had ample time to maybe kill herself at any point.
Yeah, she tried at the last second. Like, she was sitting in his throne room for it looked like a while. She was
he
just
went
laying
to go
there.
fetch her some dinner, so I
Yeah.
mean,
He
yeah.
cooked her a meal, and she doesn't even want to sacrifice herself for him?
yeah, I mean, she could have jumped off
See,
anywhere.
these girls, they just treat you so bad nowadays.
No love.
No love.
I mean, Thanos loved her unconditionally.
Unconditional. She's the only girl he loved.
Yeah, fuck Nebula.
True, he tortured that bitch.
Tortured the shit out of her. But why didn't she kill herself? I mean, she had ample time. Or at least, I don't know, rip her tongue out or something.
Exactly. But then they go to that planet, and we get one of Marvel's original good villains back.
Right.
Red Skull.
And the Red Skull.
I was so fucking surprised when
I
we saw his face.
was so surprised. I was so excited. Like, this is so cool. And then they even, make a couple of nods to him touching one of the stones and everything else.
It was good. Maybe we'll get him back.
Maybe. There's no need for him to be there anymore.
Yeah, the stone's gone. I don't know what he'll do. Did you feel bad when Gamora died? Like, did you... I never really was that big of a fan of Gamora. I was like, oh, that's sad, but like, I didn't feel anything.
I didn't feel anything for it.
I was like, oh.
I felt more for Yondu than Gamora. I felt more for Groot in Guardians 1
True.
than I did for Gamora in Infinity War. I felt more for Terrence Howard in Iron Man and not getting him in Iron Man 2.
By the way, we got rusty ass Don Cheadle. People say black don't crack. That is not true. Watch Infinity War and look at Don Cheadle's old ass.
He looks awful.
What has he been? He looks like Obama at the end of his presidency.
He looks like Obama in 30 years.
Like, I don't know why he's still fighting. Tony Stark is an asshole to have him keep fighting after he was crippled, fighting a pointless war.
We don't need Grandpa Rhodes anymore. Why couldn't he have been snapped out of the world?
I don't know.
You gonna have him play Santa Claus next? He's old enough.
But he looked old as hell.
I get it from maybe the aspect that after the shit that happened to him in Civil War, the dude's just fucked up. He's an absolute mess. His body is deteriorating. Any number of things could, play into it. I just don't think there's any reason that Rhodes should look the way he looks without the explanation as to why he looks the way he looks. He looks old. He looks rough. He looks like an absolute mess of a man. But when he's at the table with Ross and everybody else, and he looks like he's, complete control of his composure and everything. But that dude looks rough as hell.
He does. I don't know what he's been through.
I have no idea.
I mean, I do know that he is a cripple now and has to wear these goofy legs. Like, how can Tony Stark make the Iron Man suit and then make those ugly exoskeleton legs?
He needs to make good with Cap, and maybe Cap can take Rhodes over to Wakanda, and maybe they can help him out a little bit.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, you guys are in Wakanda. I mean, I guess they were kind of busy, getting Vision's stone out. But actually, you know what? About my statement I said earlier. How dare Iron Man make a human being and not be able to fix his friend's legs? He made a whole complete person.
It's true.
With the ability to love.
And she's hot. I'd love her too.
Oh, man. Rhodey, You're old as hell.
And you need to turn on Stark. He's an asshole.
Going back to making Vision and his love. What did you think? What did you think?
Can Vision make love, though?
I don't know. Do you think they gave him a penis? Do you think it's like half is green and half is like burgundy?
I'm going to say no because I didn't see Seth Rogen on the credits anywhere.
True. If Seth Rogen was making it, there would have been a...
There'd have been a dick.
There would have been a vision. A vision dick.
A vision dick.
What did you think of the little women fight?
I loved it.
With Black Widow, Scarlet Witch, Okoye.
I thought it was a badass fight.
I thought it was fun. I think Black Widow has been shown up. She used to be, she was that chick in Marvel.
Yeah.
She was the only chick.
Yeah.
And now we got Scarlet Witch, who's strong as hell.
Yeah, but if she's as strong as they bill her up to be, right?
Yeah.
She should have been able to handle that fight by herself with nobody else.
That is true.
I think that Scarlet Witch has the power set to even take on Thanos. Maybe not totally by herself, but she could definitely fuck that dude up.
I think she has a lot of power, but she just doesn't have fighting ability.
True. And that's where Okoye and Black Widow come into play. One thing that I want to ask you about.
Okay.
And that is Eitri and Peter Dinklage.
The Dink?
The Dink.
For all of you that don't remember or know who Peter Dinklage is, Thor needs a new hammer. So he goes to this star to get it made. Because that's where they make magical shit.
Powerful magical shit.
Powerful. And he has to get it made by a dwarf. And who's playing that dwarf? None other than Peter Dinklage, Tyrion from Game of Thrones. And not only is he a dwarf, he's a giant dwarf.
Who kicked Thor across the room like he was nothing.
Across the room. I've never seen a giant dwarf in my life, but it was hilarious.
It was.
That was the most creative thing they did in that whole movie.
It was good. I liked it.
It wasn't that creative.
It was still good though.
It was great.
And just the scenes him and Thor have talking back and forth were hilarious.
Funny. I other than that, like with the back and forth between him and Thor, like Thor kind of carried it, but I felt like his lines were kind of, I don't know if that's how he was trying to portray it, but he was like very dry with his delivery of things.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it could have been the way that they were shooting for it.
Possibly. But yeah, he gives him Stormbreaker, right? Stormbreaker.
Yeah, Stormbreaker. Pretty badass weapon.
It's amazing.
Summon the Bifrost.
It's a hammer and an axe, and the handle is a wooden handle made by none other than Groot.
I am Groot.
I am Steve Rogers.
Love that part. So literal of Steve Rogers.
That was hilarious. Do you think Thor is OP now? Overpowered?
I think so. I mean, he has the weapon of a king, which he deserves because he's the king of, well,
Nothing.
nothing. He can still be my king. I'm good with that.
Yeah, you love him. Him and Deadpool.
Absolutely. Ideal three-way right there.
Oh, man.
How about one other thing?
Yeah.
With Thor.
Yeah.
And him always calling Rocket
Rabbit?
Rabbit.
I thought it was funny for a little bit, and it kind of got old. But it wasn't too big of a deal, because, like, he didn't do it a lot. So
No,
after a while, like,
you'd
you'd forget he called him Rabbit, and
then
he'd say it again, and
Yeah.
it was a nice little chuckle.
I liked it. A good little chuckle. Different from the Trash Panda.
Trash Panda, yeah.
Which I also got a kick out of the Trash Panda.
I was hoping for a end credit scene of someone on Earth taking Rocket to a zoo and showing him a raccoon.
I would have loved that. That would have made my entire movie better.
It'd have been great. It would have cheered us up after what the fuck just happened.
I would have laughed after crying like that.
Alright, so Thor's got his hammer, and he comes in and wipes everyone the fuck out.
He is fucking shit up.
Like, ridiculous.
And then he disappears.
Yeah, where the fuck was he?
He just disappeared. He was
I
off.
guess Cap did call everyone, but Thor didn't have a communicator.
Earpiece.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. But where was he, though? All this shit's going down with Thanos, and OP Thor
he was just fighting doggies.
Is eating pizza somewhere, or what?
I guess so.
He got hungry?
But Thanos comes in, and he puts in that work. Like, I was terrified at that point. When he came in with almost all the Infinity Stones, there was nothing that could happen.
Right. But even back on Titan, you got Stark, Strange, Quill. They're all putting in work on Thanos. They're doing a number on him.
They didn't really. They put him to sleep.
But that helped.
And then
They should have been able to rip the glove off with Spider-Man's super strength ability, and
I feel like it should have came off a lot quicker for a guy who's passed out.
right. It'd have made for a little bit better fight scene, I think, if you'd have had to fight to get it back.
That would have been good. That would have been enjoyable. Like, to actually see him try. Like, the only time you really saw him, like, throwing blows was with Hulk.
Yeah, and
And even still, that was he beat the fuck out of Hulk.
He beat the fuck out of him. You know? And then Stark put in some work, though, with his fight with Thanos there.
Stark did. I thought Stark was going to die.
He made him bleed.
He made him bleed.
That's something nobody else had done.
Yeah. All that work for one drop of blood.
One drop of blood.
I thought Stark was about to die. I was getting ready to cry.
I was too, but I'm also prepared for it. I'm ready for...
It's like when your dad gets really old and you're like, it's coming up. And he's like, I'm perfectly healthy. Shut up, Dad. It's coming up.
It's like a birthday. It's coming.
One of these years.
But I'm at that point with Stark that I know it's coming. It's only a matter of time. And I've come to terms with it.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm gonna miss Tony Stark and his appearances and his asshole demeanor that he always has. I'm gonna miss it, but I'm ready for him to die.
I didn't want him to die like that. Like, when he was on the ground getting his head pounded in, I was like, yo, I saw how they did Loki. If they kill Tony Stark like this in front of my eyes, I will bawl like the 13-year-old child I was when I first saw Iron Man. That was my hero, man.
He brought us the MCU that we have today.
Him and Jon Favreau.
We need more John.
Yeah, Johnny boy, come back.
Iron Man 4.
Hopefully. But
With a
now he's
different
doing
Iron Man.
Star Wars.
Which is
Favreau.
cool.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait for that, but come on, man. Iron Man, you're Iron Man.
It's your baby.
We are Iron Man.
So then, we're still on Titan. Thanos is starting to fuck shit up. Damn near kills Iron Man.
But then,
Doctor Strange is like, oh, hey, I've got something for you. Would you like it? And he's like, no strings attached. And like, yeah, sure, totally, dude. You can have it. It's cool.
the way he said it sounded like he gave up them wizard cheeks.
But he was so adamant that he is not giving this up, no matter whose life is on the line. And I get it that he saw 14 plus million outcomes of this fight.
I think that's the only way. Like, I
And-
think this is the one way he saw.
And it probably ties into the end credit scene because she is quite powerful as well.
Yeah. She is going to come in and fuck some people up. She's going to be the most powerful superhero that we've seen on big screen besides Superman.
But he just hands up the stone, here it is, have it, saving Tony.
Doing specifically what he said he wasn't going to do.
And Tony's broken, bleeding out, dying on a planet millions of miles away.
His first time leaving Earth. This is what happens.
And this is what happens. So then Thanos shows up
Yeah.
on Earth,
Yeah.
missing just a Mind Stone. And he makes all of our heroes
Look like idiots.
look like bitches.
Morons.
Morons. They sucked.
They, especially Black Widow. I was like, what the hell just happened? Like, she gets, like, swooped up by some rocks. I was like, he's
Yeah.
not even near her.
Yeah. Completely random. But you get Banner in his Iron Hulk suit,
Yeah.
just thrown up against a mountainside or whatever.
Yeah.
And just,
He's put into a rock.
yeah. And then a short while later, he's out walking around. So I'm kind of.
Yeah, in the suit. Oh, I guess he broke off the top. Because wasn't the top not...
I
I don't
broke the top off during a fight previously.
I don't know what...
I don't know how he got out of that.
I guess since he left, the effects of the Reality Stone wore off.
That could be. Could have been the Reality Stone. Just
That's what
fucking up
happened with,
shit.
like, Drax and
Yeah,
and them.
that could be.
Probably, yeah. And then he goes and grabs that, he goes and tries to grab the Mind Stone. But the real hero of this movie, Scarlet Witch, destroys it. Big twist. I was surprised.
I wasn't really surprised. They laid it out, and then the between the fucking of Quill just messing up the plan earlier, and then Strange giving up the Time Stone, I kind of saw the little rewinding of time, throwing Scarlet Witch across like a ragdoll, having a free-for-all with a broken, dying, fading Vision.
Yeah, she was just laying there creepily, like she didn't even try and help. She was useless.
She didn't love Vision that much.
Yeah. I hate Scarlet Witch.
They've underutilized her.
Yeah. Maybe X-Men will use theirs better.
Maybe. They definitely use their Quicksilver better.
Yeah.
Because he's still alive. Didn't die after his first appearance.
Do you think that if Marvel and Fox do that partnership, or if Disney buys Fox. Which Quicksilver do you think they'll use?
I hope that they use the
Quicksilver
one...
and Scarlet Witch. Like, do you think they'll get rid of this Scarlet Witch?
I think they'll keep this Scarlet Witch, but they'll bring in the other Quicksilver.
I don't know.
Because I like that other Quicksilver better.
I love that Quicksilver. He's great.
He is awesome. Super funny.
But I think they'd get rid of the Scarlet Witch. She's not that big. People don't... If you're out there buying Scarlet Witch toys, you're lame.
You're just buying it for the cleavage.
Yeah.
But then Thanos has all of the stones.
Yeah.
And then Thor's finished eating his pizza. And he comes swooping in, hurls Stormbreaker at him.
And it looked amazing.
It looked amazing. And he looked like he maybe fucked up Thanos a little bit.
I thought he did. The whole theater cheered.
And then there's a little snap of the finger. We're taken to what I assume is inside of the Soul Stone.
Why do you think that?
We were taken to a place where we have an orange backdrop.
Yeah.
Where we have the younger Gamora.
Yeah.
And the Soul Stone itself is orange.
Yeah.
And Gamora was the first person that he killed in order to get said Soul Stone.
That makes sense. So her soul might be trapped in there. So they could probably bring her back.
But if that were the case, then does that mean everybody that got dusted with that snap of the finger inside the Soul Stone?
I mean, if they are, that's probably great. Like,
that'd
they're
be
just
one way to
living their
bring them
best
back.
life. Do they need to come back?
We need more Black Panther.
We've got Shuri.
We do have Shuri. She's awesome.
She's amazing. The world wants you as Black Panther. Get with it. Get with it. Get rid of Chadwick. We need you, Shuri.
Chadwick wasn't even the best part of his own damn movie.
He wasn't. Shuri
was the third best.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I think that they're gonna give Shuri the power of the Black Panther.
I'd be good with that. I could handle a lot more Shuri.
She would fit so much better with everybody in the cast.
She would.
Especially the people we have left.
Which ain't much.
It's the OGs. They're taking us back to the good old days before we knew all these movies.
Before we knew all these movies, before all the bickering between Stark and Cap and an actual team, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to need a new leader, though. Neither of those two are fit to lead.
That is true. I think I'll get into that later. I think that Iron Man is definitely going to come back in the beginning of the next one, but we'll get into that after we talk about the very end of this movie. So he snaps his fingers and he goes inside the Soul Stone and then comes out, presumably, and he just fades into a little portal. And then motherfuckers start fading away. And, you see a couple, and it just breaks your heart. They hit us with everyone. Everyone that is new and that we love. They took away Black Panther.
They took away Panther. They took away Winter Soldier. Falcon. Scarlet Witch, which now she's with her lover Vision.
Where is she with him at? He's not a human.
Oh, that's right. He's just a AI. Anyways.
And even if they are all trapped in the Soul Stone, she's in that Soul Stone. He's not.
He's dead. He's on Shuri's table somewhere in her computer system.
Probably.
He'll be back, nonetheless. He'll be back.
Yeah. But then we flash to Titan.
We flash to Titan. We lose Drax. We lose
the ugly girl. And I don't mean that as in she's ugly. I mean that's what Drax calls her.
I love that. I love that in Guardians 2, that little back and forth between those two.
Yeah, they were hilarious.
Mantis, there we go. We lose Mantis, which I thought she was a fun character.
Yeah, I like her. But then, the tears.
The one that hit me the most.
Hit everyone.
It wasn't Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
It was freaking Peter Parker, man.
Peter's was sad.
And he's just sad. He feels it coming. That spider sense is tingling. And it's just like, I don't know what I'm crying more for. The fact that I'm losing the best Peter Parker we've had. Or is it the fact that Ned is back home and he has no idea that his best friend is just like withered away to nothing?
Yo, don't make me cry right now.
Ned, man.
I just thought about Ned waiting for him on his bed with the Death Star.
And he's just waiting there for him and
forever.
And he's just never gonna know that his best friend is dead.
Oh, I mean, he'll see that a bunch of people faded away, and that's a smart guy. I'm sure he'll make the assumption.
He'll be naive about it. He'll be like, Peter's coming. He'll be here.
He'll be back.
He'll be back.
Oh, no.
And then he just broke in, and he's rocking back and forth on Peter's bed.
He'll be back. Aunt May's like, Ned, it's time for you to go home.
We didn't even get to see Aunt May.
We didn't. I wish we would have.
I like this Aunt May. She's kind of hot.
Kinda.
So the only person that's left on Titan,
only two people,
Stark
and
Nebula. In which I assume Nebula knows how to fly the ship to get them back to Earth.
What ship?
Quill's ship.
Oh yeah, I forgot that ship was there. That whole time I completely forgot about it. I was like, how are they going to get off this planet?
Yeah.
Nebula's wanted. She can't just call, like, the Nova Corps.
What's left of the Nova Corps, anyways.
True.
Xandar got wiped out a long time ago.
True.
Which will be kind of cool, because that little nod to Xandar getting fucked up should give us our Nova back on Earth.
On Earth?
Yeah.
Okay. I always thought he was alien. I don't know that much about him.
A little bit of both.
He's a little bit of both. He's like Peter.
Yeah.
His mom's been dabbling in the alien dick. She dibble dabbles.
I already miss Peter, man.
Yeah.
But what'll open up though, with the untimely death of Peter Parker?
Miles motherfucking Morales.
Miles Morales.
The world wants you, Miles.
The world does want you, Miles. If nothing else, we want you, Miles.
Here's the thing about Miles Morales. The world still wants Donald Glover to play him. Like, we would all pretend Donald Glover was a 13-year-old boy.
I'd be okay with that.
If we could see him as Miles Morales. Oh, man. But after that, we get the second saddest fade away. Groot was fading away, and Rocket's no. Oh. The person sitting next to me is like, oh no. And that almost got me crying. I was like, no, I fought through Peter, and I was fighting through Groot. That one almost got me.
They weren't even like separate on good terms either. Because Rocket kept calling him a D-hole, and he was just unhappy with him. And
he's a little angsty teen with his video game.
Now Rocket's going to have to live out his life knowing that his homie Groot withered away. They weren't found the best of terms.
Yeah.
So of all of the dusting that happened, and aside from Parker, like we
Parker
spoke
and
of,
Groot.
which other ones really kind of did you in?
I was really surprised that they got rid of Black Panther. My dude just had like the biggest movie ever, and they got rid of him. That doesn't make any sense.
That one was probably my biggest surprise,
Yeah.
just because the monster success that he had with Black Panther. However, they did make him kind of like a bitch in this movie.
They just really, in all the movies,
Yeah.
except for the first one when you see him like hunting down Bucky, that was the only time when I was like, okay, I mess with this dude. But he wasn't that good in Black Panther.
He got his ass
whooped.
beat.
Who got their ass whooped worse? Him or Thor? Or not Thor, Hulk.
Oh man, Hulk, definitely. Hulk is just, he's that big, angry, badass son of a bitch that you piss him off, he's gonna, throw down and smash you. And he hit Thanos with everything he had.
Let me tell you, I about died when Thanos hit Hulk in the neck. And he made out that, woo! Like, I didn't want to be the only guy in the theater laughing.
That was hilarious. But then after that, the only thing that showed up from Hulk was fear.
Yeah. But
where at least T'Challa came back and he put up a good fight to get his.
He did, and he got it back.
His kingdom back.
He is the king. At least he still has a city.
More than Thor can say.
But him, that one hit me hard. Also Drax. I was upset about Drax going. And Quill. Even though he just let me down in like big time, I was upset about him going.
I was sad to see Quill go. He, just from the opening scenes of Guardians 1, I was instantly in love with that character.
Yeah. All the Guardians are gone, except for Rocket.
Except for Rocket.
And like, Rocket can't do it on his own.
I'm excited to see how Rocket
lives on Earth.
lives on Earth, but also meshes with Stark whenever he makes it back, Cap, and just how he meshes with those guys, especially Cap, because Rocket's kind of a foul-mouthed little shit.
You know what I just thought about? It might be easy for Stark to get back. They have Thor. Like, Thor can just...
Yeah, but they don't know he's on Titan.
He has Nebula, who can get into touch with the Rocket. Like, it won't be that hard.
Okay, maybe.
But I don't think that's going to happen. My thoughts is I think he's going to meet up with Captain Marvel in space. And Adam Warlock. Because I think Adam Warlock is going to be looking for the Guardians. And I don't know how that's going to go down. But I think they're all going to come back to Earth. And we'll get to see our Avengers stand again. Along with Ant-Man and Wasp and...
Hawkeye, whatever his name is.
Hawkeye,
hiding,
there we go.
Hiding, because his family.
I think his family's dead.
I think his family is. His family will probably have to be dead in order for him to come out of his retirement, his forced retirement, which that character's been shit on from the beginning.
He got some love after Avengers 2. Because they made him likable.
Yeah. But he was shit on from the beginning, though.
Yeah. I mean, he's a dude with a bow and arrow.
True.
Fighting super villains. Like, not just regular villains like DC's Arrow.
Right.
He's fighting super villains.
True.
This is like putting Arrow up against Doomsday from Justice League. Or
Not gonna
Batman
work
vs.
so well.
Superman.
Yeah.
He would have been murdered.
He would have been murdered. But at least I'd have rather seen him go out like that.
Yeah.
Just because he is a dude with a bow and arrow.
But I think he'll be back, definitely. I think everyone will be back. I don't know about Ant-Man and Wasp coming back. I think one of them will. And I think it's going to be Wasp.
I think they'll both be there.
I think at the end of Ant-Man and Wasp, we're going to get an end credit scene of one of them fading away.
I would be okay with that as long as they don't get rid of Michael Pena's character. If he fades away,
Michael Pena's going to be the new Ant-Man.
I will cry. He was one of my favorite parts of Ant-Man.
Yeah, he was great.
His storytelling adventures were awesome.
What do you think's going to happen in this next one?
In Avengers 4?
Yeah.
I think that somehow, whether it's taking Quill's ship or Thor or whoever finding him, Stark makes it back with Nebula. I think that Nebula has enough motivation to at least fight alongside them to get back at Thanos.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're going to have Captain Marvel. She'll probably be the new leader of the Avengers. I would hope so anyway, because like I said, Cap and Stark are just, they're not fit to lead.
Oh, she's going to come in and swinging that meat around.
Those two, their egos are just going to keep getting in the way, and she's going to come in and whoop both their asses and set them straight. Let them know how it's going to be.
Okay.
I would say that Banner's going to work out his shit.
Yeah.
With Hulk. And we will get a really pissed off, raging Hulk that can throw down with this superpowered Thanos.
Yeah.
And it'll be a good all-out slugfest. You got the OP Thor. I think that'll help in the bringing down of Thanos. I really don't know what use Black Widow is at this point. Can we just have a solo movie and just kill her off from here?
I was almost positive she was going to die.
Again,
everyone I thought was going to die didn't die.
Right.
Except Peter and Gamora.
Yeah, I think we all kind of knew Gamora was going to bite it, and I didn't feel anything for it. I really didn't. Maybe at some point we get a Nova scene, even.
Yeah.
Because I just don't think that you drop a hint like Xandar getting half of its population wiped out, which is the home of Nova Corps, and not follow up with something like that.
I can see that.
I think that that'll happen. We've still got the Adam Warlock thing that's gone unanswered for a couple of movies now.
That is
we
true.
saw the Cocoon a couple movies back.
Do we get the real guy who kicked off these Marvel movies in Infinity War 2? Howard the Duck.
Maybe we just see him kind of walking along in a scene, like an end credit shot.
No. I want to see him punch Thanos in his purple face.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I think that at the end of Avengers 4, we will get all of our lost heroes back. And it's going to come at a great sacrifice. Cap is going to die in very heroic fashion. In which case, we'll get to see Bucky pick up the mantle from there.
I really think Falcon's gonna be the new Cap. You know why? Because Marvel just had Black Panther do amazing numbers, and they're like, my God, we can make some money off these niggas.
Anthony Mackie is great.
He's okay.
But I'd rather see Sebastian and the Winter Soldier pick up that Cap mantle. His story arc has reached its point. He is now fixed. He is stable. He is devoted to the good side again.
He is. Okay. Yeah, I agree. I think he'll actually be a better Cap. I think he'll be a better Cap than Chris Evans.
Chris Evans has done a phenomenal job, I think.
But I think Sebastian Stan will come in and do it better. I don't think Anthony Mackie can handle a lead role like that. Ever since he got his ass kicked in 8 Mile, no one's ever going to take him seriously as a real superhero.
No, he got schooled by a white boy.
Yeah.
Where do you think the universe goes post Avengers 4?
I think Avengers 4 is going to end with a reality wipe. And everything's going to change. And I think that Disney and Fox will have their deal worked out. And the MCU is going to recast all of the X-Men.
Hugh Jackman, if you're listening, I want you to unretire. Put those claws back on.
Get your tank top out the drawer.
Get your tank top out the drawer.
Go buy you some hair gel.
Buy you some hair gel. Find that spandex suit that we want to see you in. Just once.
Just once.
Just once. And let's get you in on some Avengers action.
I think the MCU could actually pull that suit off, too. Fox just never was able to do it.
The only super suit that Fox got right was Deadpool.
Deadpool, yeah.
Because it wasn't green or animated.
What about you? Where do you see it going after?
I agree with you. I think it's going to be a complete reality wipe. Kind of like a reset point. You'll get some of your main characters maybe moving forward yet. And I think they're going to introduce that entire X-Men universe into the fold. Which will be great. Fox has really been underwhelming with their X-Men movies.
They started to make a comeback and then just failed.
They shit the bed with Apocalypse.
Yeah. Whatever happened to that New Mutants movie? That was like a horror movie?
I haven't seen much about it. I think it comes out later this year, but I really haven't seen much about it.
What are you going to rate Infinity War?
I would give it, I don't know, 4.5 stars.
4.5?
Close to 5, maybe like 4 3/4.
I'm going to give it a solid 4. Up until I see part 2. I think I loved what they're doing. I loved the like artsy stuff they were doing with Thanos, the backstory. I mean, there's some stuff we talked about in here that kind of sucked, but overall, the movie was amazing.
Right, it was, and that's why I'm good with like a 4 3/4. The writing I thought was really good.
Yeah,
They nonchalantly they adjusted the 8-year gap that they dropped in Homecoming
yeah,
when it was only 6 years. The writing was there, the teamwork, the chemistry, the flow of the movie was really good.
it was amazing.
Even though it felt a little rushed at times, just because there's so much content,
It just
you're
felt
trying
like
to
a little
squeeze.
rushed for a movie of this. Like, this is this the biggest movie we've ever had?
yeah,
Like, it's the only thing I can compare to it is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. Like, maybe Part 1, I guess.
but I mean, same thing. They had so much content they had to break it up into 2 movies.
Exactly.
You know, and I get that they don't want to call this Infinity War Part 2. They want to call it Avengers 4. But it's still same sort of thing. And I get that, but I still felt that the movie itself was rushed to some degree. You have so much content. You're trying to squeak it in a 2.5-hour time frame because most people can't stay focused for longer than 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
So you're pushing the limitations of the children.
Yeah. The kids, I can see that being really tough on the kids.
I don't care.
Speaking
about
of the kids, my little cousin, my cousin's son, within 5 minutes took off his glasses and was like, I don't want to watch this anymore. Like right after Loki died.
And as much as I would love for my son to see this movie, it's going to be probably a couple years yet before I let him see it. I don't think that he's ready to see
some of that stuff and sit that long.
Yeah. I think he could sit through it. I don't think he'd have a problem sitting through it. I think he would love to watch all of his heroes up there. I just think it would break his little heart watching some of these dudes just get destroyed.
Do you ever get
fading
jealous?
away.
Like, could you imagine if we had this when we were kids? Like, I kind of did.
I'm not jealous of it because I grew up with the best cartoons.
True.
The kids
True.
nowadays don't know what a good cartoon is if it came up and smacked them in the ass.
That is true. I had Teen Titans, Batman, Superman.
You take any of the
Spider-Man.
Batman cartoons, Spider-Man cartoons, Superman, X-Men, everything, G.I. Joes, Transformers, everything from the mid-'80s through to the mid to late '90s. Some of the best cartoons, period. And the stuff that's out there today, I can't even watch it with my kid. I just be like, nah, you just do you. I'm going to go turn on Hulu or something and find some good cartoons.
Yeah, that's your job. You got to show your kid.
Oh, I show him the way. I introduce him to Spider-Man.
Good.
I even got a Miles Morales comic at home. I'm introducing him to that.
Go.
You know, got to introduce him to the good stuff.
Khan over here, stopping racism. One comic book at a time.
One comic book at a time.
His son's going to grow up loving black people. You know why? Because Spider-Man is black.
Exactly. You got to start it somewhere. If everybody could just introduce their kids to Miles Morales as Spider-Man, you never know.
You know, I actually heard something the other day. A lot of the members of the KKK quit because back in the day, for the Superman radio show, he had him fighting the KKK. And they're like, we can't be part of this when our kids are rooting against us.
Hey, that'd be something to be cool to bring back is Old radio shows like that.
That would be cool.
I'd sit down and listen to that shit.
Yeah. Anyone with some talented voice acting, put that together. I'll listen.
I'll listen. And that's all the time we've got for this evening on Movies for the People. 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 Movies for